Good morning it might be, and happy Veterans Day for all those that may be waking up. It's your boy Uncle Fred, mid sort of to the end of week Cowboy report, sprinkling a little NFL talk. What the heck is going on in Indianapolis? Uh, that's we may not have the craziest on in the NFL right now. I'm on record for that. The Odell Beckham sweepstakes has begun. I mean, what does it mean for the Cowboys? I mean, and the salary cap, what is it? How does this work? I mean, the guys gonna remember this later. And Tyron Smith, did I see Tyron Smith today? And oh yeah, while we're at it, yeah, there's a game this weekend with the Packers. Yeah, I got my thoughts on that. I want them destroyed. Of course, we're gonna talk about that. It's your boy, Uncle Fred. Be back in just a moment. What's good, people? It's your boy, Uncle Fred, back in the house, back in the saddle. One more again, mid mid to end of Cowboy Week, week Cowboy Report. Sprinkling a little NFL talk, and please like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content you have that you see and you feel coming from Uncle Fred. Please hit that like, comment, and subscribe and become a part of the Uncle Fred sports experience. Well, I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Now, Cowboys had an off week, and I kind of took an off week. I kind of been gone for a little bit, kind of took care of some things, but now I'm right back at it. I'm right back at you. Right back at you. But before we get into the Cowboy talk, and you see my little NFL insignia up in the upper right hand corner there, or left hand corner if you're looking at it, I guess. There was a weird thing that happened in the NFL this week. First of all, Monday, Frank Reich got fired, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Which, I mean, they're not having the best of seasons, but they decided to bench Matt Ryan and go with Sam Ellinger, a guy who had never thrown a regular season pass, does not really a prolific passer. He's more of like a running, what they call a zone read type quarterback, and playing the New England Patriots. A guy that don't have full grasp of the offensive capabilities, a full grasp of the offensive playbook, and you playing that guy. Okay. And of course, they got shellacked. And of course, first thing Monday morning, Frank Reich, uh, offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles when they won their Super Bowl in 2017, got broke off. And which I thought was like, I thought Frank Reich was pretty much secure, and I thought they probably was going, Jonathan Taylor been hurt, and you had some ineffective quarterback play with Matt Ryan, but his schedule kind of lightens up a little bit down the stretch. They may have could have pulled themselves out of it, but they broke him off. But that wasn't the crazy part. Breaking off Frank Reich is who they hired as his interim. Now, when Matt Rule got cut in Carolina, who's the only other coach to get fired mid-season this year, they went with Steve Wilkes as the interim coach. Okay. No, nice, safe hire. Guy been a head coach before. But hey, what the coach did. Coach went with Jeff Saturday? Are you freaking kidding me? Jeff Saturday. Coach center. Green Bay Packers center, too. Played for them also. ESPN analyst. Never coached in pro or college. Ever. Coached a couple of years of high school ball. Head coach, interim coach of an NFL franchise. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday is a good dude from all indications I've heard, and people I've heard talk about him. Peyton Manning swears by him, took passes out of his backside for 12, 13 years. So I guess you develop a relationship in that regard, right? Jeff Saturday. And it wouldn't be bad if it wasn't. I mean, it's interim, so it's not like, you got 7 games. I think they're 3-5-1 or something like that. So they got 8 games, 7 games to play. What is it, 9? They got 8 games left to play. Seven games to play. No, I was right. 8. They got 8 games left to play. So basically half the season left to play. Okay. And you thought you might would have went with somebody with head coaching experience. And I know a lot of the brothers would say, man, they could have hired Reggie Wayne. And I'm like, yeah, I like Reggie, but Reggie just became a coach in March of any sort. Now, while he got more credentials than Saturday, it don't kind of work like that for us, if you know what I'm saying. Now, if I'm running the team, I found out they got John Fox on their staff. John Fox then took 2 teams to the Super Bowl. The Carolina Panthers, and we just talked about them. That's coming around full circle. In 2003, he took them to the Super Bowl, and in 2013, he took the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowl. And then after that, he was head coach of the Chicago Bears, but they didn't really have. So he's been a head coach from 3 different sites and had various degrees of success, and has been to the deep in the playoffs and won. Hadn't won a Super Bowl, but has been to a couple of Super Bowls. I thought I probably would have brought him in to bring in stability. Somebody from the inside and somebody that's been a head coach, knows how to, the ins and outs of how to run a football operation. He knows how to do that. I would have probably elevated Reggie Wayne to my offensive coordinator. Yeah, let's let you see how to call some plays. I know you know how to do routes, how to call routes, and how to run certain routes against certain coverages and stuff like that. We're going to get you into play calling and formations and stuff like that. So I would have liked them done that. But then they went off the rails and went with Jeff Saturday. I'm like, okay, we're going to see. And then that wasn't the crazy part. The crazy part was the press conference. Jim Irsay was talking some crazy stuff. Like, man, he said, yeah, he might seem like I hired somebody with no experience, but I wouldn't bet against him. You'd be crazy to bet against him. I'm like, okay, I do with no experience. At the helm of this ship that's going towards the iceberg. Yeah, I'm betting on the iceberg. I'm not betting on you, but okay, we'll see. But he was talking about CIA and FBI and undercover stuff, and this ain't rocket science, and all. He was just talking. He was just woo, woo. So I started thinking, man, you know what, man? Jerry Jones might not be the wackiest owner in the NFL now. I think that title goes to Jim Irsay, and I think he's going to wear that for a long time. Yeah, he went from at the owners' meeting almost campaigning to have Dan Snyder kicked out of the club. Now he's doing this. Yeah, he very outspoken. Even Jerry ain't saying nothing about that. He's like, we'll just see how the thing goes. No, he's not doing that. Jim Irsay is something else, man. Keep an eye on that dude, man. I bet the reporters love that dude because he's a walking quote, and and those reporters like team content. They don't root, but they like content. He get them plenty of something to talk about, so that's something to keep an eye on. So yeah, Jeff Saturday is the interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. So we just kind of keep an eye on that and see where that goes, and we just kind of see. So anyhow, that's that on that. Now we go to this. I know you don't want to care. You don't care no more about Jeff Saturday. So now it's all about the Cowboys. So now we've been talking all week. The media been talking about this Odell Beckham thing. It's basically the Odell Beckham sweepstakes. So that's all we've been hearing about. Michael Irvin's been in the thing. Michael Irvin's been in it. And of course, now there's some Cowboy players that have been in on it, been, lending their voice to the thing. And so we kind of seeing what's going on here. But yeah, so let's understand this. Let's just break this thing down. We know Odell Beckham got hurt in the Super Bowl, non-contact, second quarter. Was on his way to become the Super Bowl MVP. He caught a touchdown pass in the first quarter, and getting hurt, had that happen, and because he's on a 1-year deal with the Rams, and so now Odell wants a multi-year deal. But see, he got a couple things working against him because his age. He just turned 30, I think 29 or 30. Not old, but then he's off injured. This is his 5th surgery. He had 2 ACLs on the same knee and had some other things, ankle, shoulder, some other stuff going on. So he's had some injuries and stuff. But on the other side of the ledger, there's other teams that's vying for his services. Certainly the Rams, but Rams are 3-6. You really want to go to back to the Rams? They really no. And the Buffalo Bills, but as he told Calvin Watkins, he kind of want to go to a warm weather city, especially with his knee coming around and on the mend and stuff. So, and of course now he's been training and stuff. Now he's up and about and training now. Now he's not getting any routing or anything, but he's training, trying to get everything strong. So this is when things starting to take off now. But he's wanting a warm weather city, so that kind of takes Buffalo and Baltimore out of the loop on that, right? So that definitely leaves in the Cowboys, leaves in the 49ers. I mean, that's about it, maybe. I know Philadelphia was talking, but that's not hard. That's not a warm weather place either. So really, it's going between us and the 49ers, and maybe Tampa, maybe. I don't know. They're 3-6, 3-4, 3-6, 4-6, or whatever they are. I mean, are they really? Yeah. But the thing is, now if he's gonna want him to get him, you might have to give him a multi-year deal to let him know that he's not gonna be a hired gun. You're not just a guy who's gonna pay you today, whatever, and that's it. Because I think he wants to end his career with whatever team he signs with here. He's not trying to be a hired gun. So then you gotta start talking about salary cap things, because that when you start talking about multi-year deals, then that brings in salary cap implications. So people always talk about this salary cap. It's what is it? And currently, the NFL is employing a $208.2 million salary cap as of 2022. Now we know that number is scheduled or is believed to increase as more of this other money comes in, from these networks, money from these streaming services. These streaming services are starting to take over. We just saw, Carolina and Atlanta tonight. Carolina, won, I think 25-15, something like that. I had Atlanta. Oh well. But we know Amazon is in that thing. So I mean, Jeff Bezos is fully ingratiated in the NFL, and he's got a pile of money, and he's willing to add more streaming outlets to the NFL, and that's going to be more money. So who knows? Next year the salary cap might be $225 million, and the year after that might be $250 million. Who knows? But as it sits right now, it's $208.2 million is the 2022 salary cap. Now I've been hearing all these players just coming. I hear Micah coming, man. Come on, man. Let's what needs to happen? What we got to do to get this happen? Okay, I'm hearing Micah. I'm hearing CD talking about, yeah, that's my dude. I watched him. That's fine. Dak in the thing. Yeah, man. He's fine for our locker room. Let's get him in here. Okay. You see all these dudes and Zeke and all these guys. They're all clamoring for him. They do understand. And then normally I don't side with the Cowboys on fiscal matters, okay? Because I think they sometimes run on the degree of cheap. But understand this: the NFL, unlike any of the other sports leagues, has a hard cap, which means when they say $208.2 million, you ain't spending a penny more than that $208.2. Okay. There is no penalty. You just not spending it. If you do that, they're going to take draft picks or something for it. There's penalties if you do that. I mean, it's not like, you got to pay money. Okay. Like, for instance, the NBA, right now, they've got a $123 million salary cap, but they got a $156 million apron, which means you can go up to that amount without any penalties. Anything over that, you go into what they call a luxury tax. For instance, the Golden State Warriors, one of my teams, currently has a $186.4 million payroll. which is by far like $40 million clear of the next team in the NBA. Okay, they won 4 championships too, and they've built a $5 billion Chase Center in San Francisco. So they just printing money and stuff. So, but they got an apron. It's 156 million. So they're $30 million over that. So what the NBA does, you pay $3 per every $1 million you spend over, you spend $3. So every dollar you spend $3. So they're spending about 200 and they're right at $280 million in total salaries and salary cap luxury tax fees, which is more than like 80% of the teams in luxury tax. They're paying over 100 million. They're paying more in luxury tax and they're paying than 80% of the other teams are paying in basic salaries. Okay. But see, the NFL doesn't do that. Your salary cap is a salary cap, meaning you got one set of money that you have, and you can't spend a cent more. Now, the oddity about this thing is that the salary cap was brought about back in like 1994, 95, and you'd be surprised as to who was the instigator, the prognosticator, progenerator, if you might say, of the whole salary cap thing. Who you think it might be? Who you think? Yeah, one Jerry Wayne Jones. Now, I'm thinking you must be some kind of real fool to campaign for the one thing that will keep you from winning in a significant manner. Because ever since the salary cap's been in full effect, we ain't won anything. Because the salary cap forces you to, I don't know, budget your money smartly, and talent evaluation and all that stuff needs to be on point. You ain't got time for no misses. You missed. We missed out on that dude. That dude's a bust. Yeah, you can't really do that in the salary cap with a hard salary cap. So you have to really be smart with your talent acquisition, talent evaluation, and your money allocation. All that stuff has to be on point. And we have not, for the most part, we're trying to do better now. We have not been real good enough. And we shot a lot of bad contracts in the early 2000s, giving up 2 first-round picks for Joey Galloway. That 2 first-round picks for Roy Williams, the receiver from Detroit. Yeah, not good talent allocation, asset allocation and evaluation. Not good there at all. But these are the things we used to do. Okay. Now, to me, the salary cap is socialism. And for anybody come and beat me up about what's wrong with socialism? Well, nothing in of itself if you're talking about certain items. Now, socialism in terms of like, I don't know, healthcare is okay by me, because I don't care if you got $1 million or if you a guy on the street, selling cans. Your health is just as important as the next guy's. That guy got a family just like that dude got a family. So I don't think your healthcare should be sold to the highest bidder. Okay, that's just Uncle Fred. That's just me. Okay, but this thing, the NFL, anything else, I mean, no matter what you do, I get the same thing all the other teams get. So let me get this straight. I'm the Dallas Cowboys. Through my hard work and shrewdness, I have built this Cowboy empire to be $8-point-something billion. Meanwhile, Woody Johnson in New York is in the Mecca capital, the media capital of the world, and your franchise can't seem to fight themselves out of a paper bag. But yet, when the TV deals are struck, you get the same money I get, even though your team ain't worth for $3 million, I'm worth $8 million. And you don't seem to know how to, finesse, the thing to make them, you ain't shaking the bushes and, how they say in sales talk, you ain't doing that, but we get the same money. So that's just like you get a test and you studied for yours, but another dude stayed out and partied all night, but y'all get the same grade because they gave him answers to the test to make him get the same thing you got. You would be mad. So that's why I don't like it. And it don't work nowhere else. Don't nobody get the same thing at a job. The dude that does the better job, does his job better, more efficient at his job, gets a better salary, gets a better raise. Nobody gets the same thing. But I digress. but we got the salary cap. All right. So that salary cap. So I'm wondering next year when CeeDee Lamb's contract is going to be up and Trayvon Diggs' contract going to be up, are they going to forget that they wanted the Cowboys to splurge on Odell Beckham when they negotiating for their deal? Or are they going to try to shake Jerry for every penny they're getting? See, there's the things that get me. You want this, but then I want that and that. I'm like, no. There's a cap. There's a structure. We can't spend but so much. Even though that's why I'm like, I don't like that. The team's worth $8 billion. I should be able to spend anything that I can spend as long as the check don't bounce. And it's the only league that does that because Major League Baseball ain't got no salary cap. But the Yankees don't win the World Series every year. Matter of fact, they really ain't won it since 2009. It's been 13 years since they won it. Okay? In that time, Houston has won it. San Francisco's won it. I think Kansas City came close or maybe won it. Some other small market teams have won it. I've been in it, won it. Philadelphia, some others, but not the team that spent the most. So, so I'm just wondering if these guys going to be all gung-ho about that next year when they contract. And certainly 2 years from now when Micah's contract come due. Woo, you talking about somebody that's going to break the bank. Micah going to break the bank. But is he going to say, well, man, Jerry did come and get us this dude, helped us get deep into the playoffs. I'm going to cut Jerry a little slack. Probably not. That's why I said people be wanting to spend money, but they want to spend it and have it at the same time. But a lot of folks just like that. They like to spend money, but then but then be mad when the money run out and be wondering where the money went. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I hope we get him because I think, man, that'll help our wide receiver core because he'll be ready probably by mid-December. By last 2 or 3 games, I think he'll probably be ready to contribute. And by playoff time, I think he'll be a good addition. I think we'll be. Then you add James Washington to that mix. You got James Washington, Odell. It would be CD, Michael Gallup, Noah Brown. 3 tight ends. Maybe we'll just have a plethora of offensive weapons, man. And I just hope we can do it. And I hope it all fits. And I'm hoping that Odell, they're not trying to break the bank with him. Maybe he give him a 2-year, $10 million, get 5 a year, 6 a year, $2 million, 212, something like that. But the CD need to be like, okay, now a wide receiver my ilk in his mind is supposed to be getting 20. You take 12 instead of 20. That's the $8 million difference. Would about the amount that Odell would get or somewhere thereabouts next year. Are you willing to eat that so that you can get this dude on your staff? That's the question. We'll see. We'll stay tuned for that. But more will be known in the weeks ahead. But as we move on in the video here, one thing I saw today, and I was like, man, I had to rub my eyes but make sure I wasn't seeing something that I wasn't seeing. Tyron Smith was at practice. Well, kinda. He was working the chords, the chords things. He was doing those things. With Britt Brown. People that don't know, Britt Brown is our strength and conditioning, rehabilitation, whatever you want to call it, guru. He's the best in the business. He's the dude that got Dak back and had him overcome the compound fracture with his foot, the shoulder thing that came before the last year, coming out of training camp, the calf injury last year, and then this hand injury this year. Britt Brown has been all over that, and so Britt Brown is the best. But he was at practice working on that. Now remember, Tyron Smith coming out of training camp tore his hamstring off the bone. And Tyron Smith was what, 33, 34, 33, 32, 30? No, 30. But he's been in the league 10 years, okay? And, 10, 12 years, about all you're going to get out of an offensive lineman. They've been in a bunch of train wrecks, bunch of car wrecks. And everybody's like, all right, no. Jerry was like, yeah, he'll be back in December. I'm like, no, nobody, dude, that dude ain't coming back this year. We're going to go with Tyler Smith, and we're going to go with Jason Peters, and we're going to go with Connor McGovern, on that left side and whatever. We're just going to do that. But he makes me think like he built different. He might be around probably about the end, maybe about the time Odell gets around if we get him. Maybe and that'll be about what we need to add some fortification and some depth to our offensive line, who's been, playing admirable this year, considering all the things they've had against it. So, man, it's just good to see Tyron Smith back. If we get him this year, if not, he's still an inspiration to the other dude. But I think he's going to play this year, having seen that. Man, can you imagine getting your hamstring tore off the bone? Big as he is, 6'4", 320, and 30 years old, and how could I forget? There's a game this week. Had a week off. Now we're playing the Packers, Green Bay Packers, up in Lambeau Field. Look, I know what Packers have been, lost 5 straight games. Aaron Rodgers has looked a shell of himself, nothing like the 4-time MVP he's been. Threw 3 interceptions last week against the Detroit Lions. He didn't win whole seasons and only thrown 4. He threw 3 in one game, including 2 in the end zone. Okay. Romeo Doubs is hurt, the rookie that got out of Nevada. Christian Watson, the rookie that got out of North Dakota State's been injured with concussions. He might play. Bakhtiari, the offensive tackle, left tackle, one of the best in the business when he was playing. He's hit and miss. Aaron Jones, they do it all running back, been in a walking boot. I think he practiced some this week. He's probably like maybe a 50-50. Stokes, I think it's Edwin Stokes, cornerback starter, not going to play. So, the Packers are certainly wars me, and we're coming off of a daggum bye. So, yeah, maybe we should feel a little sad for them. And then in the midst of that, Aaron Rodgers is, dare I say, a little melancholy about this game. I'll explain to you what I mean. Now, we understand this. This is the first time that Aaron Rodgers will be facing his old coach. Mike McCarthy was the Aaron Rodgers coach from 2008 to 2018, in which he was subsequently unceremoniously fired in 2018. And he became the Cowboys head coach in 2020. Okay. So this is the first time their paths have met since he's been the Cowboys head coach, and since Matt LaFleur has been the coach of the Green Bay Packers, who succeeded him. But this is what Aaron Rodgers said when asked about what it will mean to face his old coach. He said, I'll always be tied to him because of the connection that we had in the years we spent together. Obviously, my longest tenured coach, my longest tenured play caller. I'm thankful for those years, and thankful maybe a little more now as the years go. Man, make Uncle Fred get a little misty. What was I thinking, man? You know what? I ain't buying it. I ain't buying 1 cent of that. That's just something he's just saying. I want them destroyed. Okay? Can't stand the Packers. Can't stand Aaron Rodgers. You know why? Because he always sticks the knife in us when we think we got something, and he comes. 2014, I still remember the catch. There wasn't a catch. There was a catch. Dez Bryant caught that ball, slammed the ball on the goal line. That was a touchdown. We should have won that game 28 or 29-26. Okay. But no, didn't win that. Aaron Rodgers goes and he lays an egg the next week unless Seattle goes to the Super Bowl. We could have won that. Okay. 2016, Dak's rookie year in the playoffs, up on us 21-3. Dak comes back on a vengeance, ties it at 31. We got the Packers, got the ball, less than 2 minutes to go. Jeff Heath, our safety, comes on a safety blitz, nails Aaron Rodgers, but does not go for the football, even though it's out there while he's patting it looking for receivers. Didn't even see him coming. If he'd have just swiped his hand at the ball, I'm telling you, that ball coming out, but he didn't see him. So it ended up being 3rd and 20. And we know what happens. Rolls left, rolls right, throws left, crosses body. Jared Cook steps out of bounds, 25-yard gain, 1st down. Mason Crosby kicks a 56-yard field goal. We go home. That was a gut-wrenching loss. Okay. The very next year, 2017, we had a 27-23 lead. 1 minute left. Dak scores on a zone read touchdown run from like 5 yards out. A minute left. I thought they shouldn't have threw it on 2nd down because I would have kept the clock moving. But, so what, man? Certainly we can hold the lead with a minute left. Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Smith over Jordan Lewis with 11 seconds left, 12 seconds left. He scored a touchdown on us in 48 seconds. (2019), we're 3-0. Lost the game to the Saints. Come back and get the Packers at home. They up on us 34-13. We closed it to like 37 to like 38 or something like to 28, something like that. But another gut-wrenching loss to Aaron Rodgers. I'm sick of losing to Aaron Rodgers. Now I'm supposed to be compassionate to him because he's having a tough run of luck. No. If we up 35-0, there's 4 minutes to go and we're on the 20, stick it in the end zone and make it 35-0. Make it 42-0. If it's 42-0 and we got the ball at the 20-yard line with 4 minutes to go, make it 49-0. Sticking in them. Because I don't, I'm not with none of that stuff. I want them destroyed. I'm not feeling no pity for them. If they come in there feeling sorry for them and let them play around and fool around and win that game, I don't know what I'm going to be able to say to y'all Sunday night. Okay. So, Cowboys got a week off, relatively healthy. Anthony Barr didn't practice, but expect to be day-to-day. Ezekiel didn't practice today, but kind of day-to-day. Probably will play with a knee brace. Sam Williams is a full practice. And then everybody else seems to be healthy. Week off, week of preparation, extra week of preparation, okay? While they was getting handled by Buffalo and Detroit, yeah, I expect nothing less than a 15-point beatdown, or I'm going to be disappointed, okay? I'm not taking no prisoners, not taking no pity on no Green Bay Packers, okay? Anyway, that's all I got, man. Please like, comment, subscribe, become a part of the Uncle Fred sports experience. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Didn't mean to go off like that, but Green Bay gets under my skin, gets my goat. And I had an old co-worker tell me, man, if you don't want to get your goat got, don't let folks know where it's hid. But I guess I should have let y'all know that Green Bay gets under my skin like that because they do. I want them destroyed. But that's all I got, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you guys, I don't know, Sunday evening, hopefully with a 15, 20-point beatdown. That's all I got. Uncle Fred, we out.